Brad,
Yeah.
we're getting to that point to where it's barely comfortable to eat outside, and pretty soon it won't be comfortable at all to eat outside.
Yeah, the humidity, that's the thing. When that starts to creep up this weekend, I think that's going to drive a lot of people to head inside because even in the shade, it feels sticky. We're keeping an eye on some storminess back to the west. 2 clusters, one over parts of Mississippi heading into Alabama, another one in Kansas and Oklahoma. That's where there's going to be severe weather this evening, maybe a pretty significant tornado outbreak in parts of the southern plains and then down to the south and the northern Gulf Coast states. Tomorrow, another big area of severe weather in the middle of the country. But notice it's all staying to our west. That's good news for us. We have had a very quiet spring severe weather season, but we're going to see some pop-up storms tomorrow, Saturday, and possibly even Sunday, depending on the position of this backdoor front. If it slides to our south, we could end up being much cooler Sunday than our current forecast. It's kind of one side of the front is going to be maybe closer to the 70s. The other side, if you're on the warm side, could be close to 90. So it's going to be a huge swing in those temperatures. You could see the warm up this weekend with the dew points. Dew points are going to shoot up into the 60s. So it's going to be a little sticky this weekend. But yes, some drier air next week once we get into that cooler northwest and northeast flow. Tomorrow, a pop-up storm again, 5, 6 o'clock. This time tomorrow night, we'll likely be tracking storms coming out of the mountains and foothills trying to move across the Piedmont. So tomorrow evening at this time, there will likely be some rain on the radar. Saturday, kind of the same thing, a pop-up storm late afternoon, evening. You get the idea. The peak heating of the day. This is more similar to what we see in late spring, early summer. And then Sunday, northeast winds could be a sign that that front pushes down to the South Carolina border. I'm going to keep it 86 now, but I'm trending down on these temperatures. I'll be honest, Sunday could even go lower in subsequent forecasts, so stay tuned. That's going to be some big changes for Mother's Day. Both days definitely going to have a few more clouds and a scattered thunderstorm possible on Saturday, maybe a scattered shower on Sunday. Some good news today that we're starting to see El Nino develop, and you're probably saying, why is that good news? Well, if it does develop into the summer and into the fall, all the guidance is trending in that direction. El Nino, about an 80% chance it develops going into the summer, and that's a warming of the waters in the Pacific. And the impact this is going to have is on the hurricane season. Typically, when we see El Nino develop in the Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Atlantic, we tend to see less hurricanes because of stronger wind shear. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to see a hurricane. It just means the numbers might be down. And remember, in many El Nino hurricane seasons, we have seen strong hurricanes. It's just a matter of where they go. It only takes one hurricane to make for a bad season, especially if it heads towards you. So we'll keep an eye on this, but at least the trend for fewer storms in the Atlantic is possible with the strong El Nino developing. Now, as far as rainfall locally, we're going to see the rain chances hover around 30–40%. That's your more typical pop-up afternoon storm, and that's what we're going to see tomorrow afternoon as temperatures surge back into the 80s. Your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast, we'll see those pop-up afternoon storms this weekend. Monday could be much cooler if that front continues to slide south, but that could shift into Sunday with a quicker arrival. Then next week, back to typical May weather with temperatures right around 80 degrees.